What's good, Lucky Lefty Podcast? Happy Wednesday, happy hump day to everyone. We're brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, that premium American whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. And if you drink, by all means, make sure that you do so responsibly. We need you to do work. Do work for us, fans. Go to CFB Nation right now. Lucky Lefty Podcast will be exclusive on CFB Nation starting in the fall. If you want to get your audio edibles starting in September, you have to go to CFB Nation. So go do that right now. Get on your phone, your Android, your iPhone. Go there right now on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and just lock in with us, right? Just do it the right way. Don't wait. Do it right now. Audio edibles each and every day. Great content. Ryan Roberts, Rise and Draft. CFB All-American. It's the Lucky Lefty Podcast. We're the home of the misguided passion. You already know we spin it different. Left is going to be jumping on very soon. Matter of fact, voila. Ooh, I like the Scully. I like the Scully. I like that mixed with the little aqua. I like the Scully.
Be like water this season, I'm telling you.
Hey. At what point, you know what? At what point do you become old to your kids? At what point, Left? What do you think little Left is going to look at you and be like, Pops, come on, man. Not from an age standpoint, but from like a cultural standpoint, right? Because they look to you. I'll give you a perfect example. I was the foundation for my daughter's love for sneakers, her love for music.
It's like definitely the music. It's the music is when you first get called
out. Is the
out.
music the key when you get called out?
Yeah, they like that. I don't listen to that. Or you turn something on and they like, what is that? And they hearing a live band. They're not hearing no auto-tune, nothing.
Right.
Some ad-libs where Apple Music can't put it on the read-along, the karaoke machine because they got the ooh-wees and the ooh-ahs and all that. When the songs be 6-7 minutes long, they be like, this is an album? That's how you know you getting old because they like, man, you don't the interlude, you don't like interludes? They don't. So the music is the first step to know if you getting old to your kids. Probably the phone is second. They got some app you ain't never heard of. Some the updated iPhone you ain't get.
Right.
You know, where they got the whatever adjustments, the hologram. You know, hologram's gonna be coming soon. So when the phone stuff starts taking off and we stuck with the flips and the razors and the chocolates and the old school stuff, you know, even green messages you old nowadays. So I don't know where the line is drawn.
It was crazy because we're still locked in from a music standpoint. We're still locked in from a music standpoint, and that's because I think
when she was young.
Yes. Right.
So if she grow up on it, it's different.
So this is our LL question of the day. And it's kind of tied into something we said last night on the petty train. LL question of the day. Are you allowed to code switch your fandom? Mm. And I'm using Notre Dame. It's been 35 years. If somebody said, dude, 35 years, Notre Dame was doing the same thing, running the same offense they ran 15 years ago, I'm out. I'm a White Sox fan, Left. I'm contemplating like finishing the show and going to the 1:30 game today. They got a 1:30 game against Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating finishing the show, heading over there. Dollar hot dog Wednesdays. You know, might take advantage of the promotion.
That's right.
And I have a National League team, Left. I have to admit. It's the Dodgers.
Mm.
The Dodgers. So anytime the White Sox stink and I'm already checking out, I'm like, dude, it's a wrap. I just watch Dodgers games the rest of the year.
The rest of the year.
Yeah. Now, that's just my second team, right? Do you get to have a second team in college football?
Yeah. I mean, after the second, it becomes you just a fan.
The Jaguars are your second team, right?
The Chiefs are my second team. The Jags.
Oh, here we go. Dude, I've never heard you utter the Chiefs in my life. Now the Chiefs on the list of your
Because they my
teams?
second team. Because they my second team. See?
So
That's
wait
why,
a minute.
because I was Chiefs fans first growing up.
The Bengals are first?
The Bengals became one of those fan teams. I became a fan of the Bengals in my later years when they started playing good. And a lot of that is natural love because you from Ohio. If I was from Tennessee, I would not like the Bengals. But I grew up a Chiefs fan when they had Trent Green, Larry Johnson, Dante Hall, Priest Holmes, Tony Gonzalez, real players. When they started getting good, actually, I dated back to when we went to back-to-back playoffs and lost to Peyton Manning with the Colts.
Okay.
We were 8-8. Finally making the playoffs back-to-back season and losing to the Colts both times. I was a fan then. When they started winning and getting Patrick Mahomes and all that, now everybody want to be a Chiefs fan.
Facts.
And I put my Jaguars as my secondary team in the front. Used to love it. I grew up a Jaguars fan. David Garrard and Maurice Jones-Drew and the classics. Mark Brunell, best lefty, second best lefty of all time. So, I was liking them when we played Pittsburgh and beat Ben Roethlisberger at home. See, that's when I liked the Jaguars. But now we revamped. We got Trevor Lawrence, bona fide team to watch for because we definitely went in our little corny division. We ain't worried about no Colts and no Chiefs. I mean, no Colts and no Titans. Are you kidding me? Titans are trash this year. Colts are trash this year. Who else in our division?
Colts might be a problem in like 2 years.
Yeah, I ain't banking on it. We got Trevor Lawrence. What quarterback in our conference, our division is? Matter of fact,
I'm just telling you.
Okay, the
I'm
AFC.
just telling you. Colts might be a problem in 2 years.
Colts are not worried about it.
All I'm saying, you are giving a masterclass right now in code switching. That's all I want you to know.
And we have the Texans sorry self in our division. Oh yeah. We're running that division for a long time.
You were scared. You were scared that Bryce might end up at the Texans, bro.
What?
Yeah, you were. Because he would be the best quarterback in the division if he did.
No, Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback. He's damn near top 5 in the AFC. No, top 5 in the league. No. Top 3 in the AFC. Because who's better? He's got Patrick Mahomes, Space, Trevor Lawrence.
What?
In the AFC? Yeah.
Bro, did you come? Wait a minute. Yeah, I was about to say you're bugging a little bit.
Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence.
No.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow is better than Trevor Lawrence. Stop.
I'm talking about this season coming up.
He's going to be better than Trevor Lawrence coming up this season.
Not this season. This is our season. That's why he's the third. He's going to be third ranked quarterback.
I love how you use the personal pronoun our.
Yeah, it's our team.
I love that.
For sure.
I love that.
For sure. So we got Patrick Mahomes this season. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. We take that.
You do realize Josh Allen is better than Trevor Lawrence right now, right?
How?
What do you mean how?
How?
What do you mean?
What has Josh Allen won? He ain't won no MVP. He ain't won no.
What has Trevor Lawrence won?
Neither. He hasn't won either. So what makes Josh Allen better? Trevor Lawrence can throw better, number 1. Josh Allen couldn't throw going into the league. Trevor Lawrence could throw going into the league, could run just like Josh Allen, but doesn't have to. So Josh Allen runs like that because
he can't throw. So he can't throw.
Josh Allen can't throw better than Trevor Lawrence. Yes.
So he's able to put up the stats he put up without being able to throw the ball. That's amazing. I'm amazed.
You're going to find out why Trevor Lawrence is better coming up this season.
Okay.
And he's going to replace Josh Allen. Josh Allen's going to fall to number 5 because, first of all, Josh Allen is living a real ghetto lifestyle right now.
What? Wait a minute. Dude, your disrespect for Josh Allen.
It's not disrespect, it's the news. How you going the day before the day before the biggest game that you always fail, the AFC Championship game, your girlfriend that you had since high school finds out you had a baby on her. How ghetto. That's why Stephon Diggs was yelling at him at the game, like, get your head in the game. That's why they got smoked. Ghetto stuff off the field. Now you talk about my man.
Why is that? That happens everywhere. That just doesn't happen in the ghetto. That happens in mansions.
I didn't say in the ghetto. I said
the
ghetto-ness. The ghetto.
Oh, the act. The act.
The ghetto. Act. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We ain't talking about the
it is pretty.
That is ghetto. You a CEO of.
Well, I mean, look, as a White Sox fan, we went through it last year because our shortstop and our best player had a baby mama in the middle of the season posting on IG.
Exactly why they're not good.
I understand. So,
it
does rip through the fabric of the organization and stuff. And it's the leader of the team as well.
Leader, so that's what they tell you. The supposed leader. Trevor Lawrence ain't got what Trevor Lawrence do? He get drafted, get married the same day. Good Christian man. So his values are gonna put him above Josh Allen when it all said and done.
The fact that him and his missus actually go to the Waffle House after games, they had me right there, bro. They had my heart.
Trevor Lawrence is the real sunshine.
They had my heart right there.
And not only that, the man can play.
I'm still telling you that in 2 years he's gonna have company in that division. I mean, Richardson and CJ Stroud are coming, bro. Don't act like CJ Stroud is a scrub. Don't do that.
What are they coming for, though?
Don't do that.
They coming Nate?
And I like D'Amico as a coach. I really do.
I think that's all great. But when is all this going to take place? In 3 years? Probably. It ain't going to be in the next 2. It ain't going to be in the next. You talking about a team, the Texans, who was the first pick, second pick of the draft? They going to do what? They're going to do what?
I'm just telling you. Free J Free said, come on now, personal life doesn't determine play on the field. I disagree. I disagree.
Yeah.
Any athlete will tell you.
Look at Deshaun. Look at Deshaun. He was playing great with the Texans. All that stuff come out.
And Deshaun's going to be much better this year.
Yeah,
the further away he gets from that stuff.
The further away he gets from it.
But
it just looked like, man, this man's struggling. And it didn't even look like he was a football. It's just like this man just struggling in between plays. Just you could just tell something was heavy on his heart.
Yeah.
But Trevor Lawrence don't have to go through that. That's why we sliding straight to the top. Because Patrick Mahomes will take a little dip because his brother wilding. What's wrong with you? Crazy man.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, that off the field stuff. Hey, Tim Anderson hasn't been the same since.
Ain't been the same
since his baby mama jumped on IG and exposed everything. I think that dude went from leading the league in hits over the last 3 years and averaging 300 to hitting like 250 since that post. He has not been the same.
Tiger Woods ain't been the same.
Tiger Woods actually won majors after the scandal though. But he was never that type.
As a person.
Yeah, he was yeah.
It just Tiger just the way he cared, it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, Trevor Lawrence, top 5 quarterback, top 3 in the AFC.
Okay, I disagree with the top 3 in the AFC, but that's your issue.
Okay,
he's not better than Joe Burrow right now, bro. He's just not.
Joe Burrow's good, absolutely, but he is not going to have this. Think about it. He went to back-to-back, just like Josh Allen did. He's going to be a top 5 because he's that good, but his team isn't going to be as good. Josh Allen is going to have a solid team, but Josh Allen personally is not going to play well. It's like the stock.
Man,
at what point are the Bills going to start tanking? Because just think about it. How many times you going to get close before you like, you know what, we got to do something.
Boy, you treat Josh Allen like Logan Roy treated Shiv.
What do you mean?
The entire show of Succession, bro. Like, just Never gave her credit. Just refused to ever give her credit.
What's the credit are we giving this man? He hasn't won anything. They've had the best defense in the league a couple years when they were hot, and he couldn't make it happen.
They were okay.
Yeah, the best pass defense, rush defense when they went against Patrick Mahomes at Patrick Mahomes' place.
But the best move to elevate their defense they made was to go get Von Miller to close out games, and Von got hurt. Man, so
Josh Allen was supposed to be that dude, right? Because Patrick Mahomes did it.
Who walked? All I'm telling you, who walked in the building and sent Josh Allen home?
Oh, Joe Burrow.
Okay then.
Easy. No. Joe Burrow's definitely top 4. But this year, Trevor Lawrence is going to the AFC Championship.
Okay.
Because we're winning the division, so we got a first round bye already.
That's fine. Man, look, I
first
love
already.
Dude.
And we have
Patrick Mahomes is equal opportunity. He gives L's out to all quarterbacks. It doesn't have to continue to be Josh Allen and Joe Burrow. Trevor can come get some more L's too. It doesn't matter.
We'll see him at the end because we're going to be a top 2 seed in the AFC. We're going to see him in the AFC Championship game. That's cool.
That's fine.
Because we got a first round bye. Easy. Home field advantage. Easy. Trevor Lawrence is good enough to beat the divisional wild card round.
Yeah.
We were in the AFC Championship. I can write it in right now. Let me go to Vegas.
Man, my point is, and I was trying to get to it, that you just gave a 4 to 5 minute masterclass on code switching. So basically, Malik is telling you it's okay to have a collection of teams as a fan.
2 teams.
With multiple reasons, because he literally has 4 teams in his portfolio in the NFL. He keeps saying 2, but he talks about the Chiefs, he talks about the Bengals, and he talks about the Jags. That's 3 teams the last time I tabulated.
Yes, the Bengals came on because of Ohio. You wouldn't cheer for the Bulls if they. Oh, you're a Bulls fan. Okay,
I'm a Bulls fan.
Okay, but are you a fan of any team outside of Chicago?
I just told you the Dodgers.
Right. Okay. Now the Dodgers, if they were having a championship run year in and year out, you would talk about them almost as much as, or if not more, than Chicago teams.
No, it's not the same emotional attachment.
Okay.
No, I talk about the White Sox win, lose, like in anger or joy. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make one bit of a difference. Speaking of Succession, bro, did you get an opportunity to watch the series finale?
I did not. I didn't get to see it yet. I
just want to say that Succession is top 5. It's top 5. It's not debatable. It was one of the top 5 greatest shows.
You taking it that far?
It is what it is, and it hosts. If you're talking about just top performances or top characters, Roman Roy is one of the best characters ever in the history of TV. Ever. He's like right there with Bodie for me from The Wire.
Yeah.
Like just one of the best, bro. So kudos to Succession. I think the way they ended it was controversial. Man, leaves you wanting more, actually.
Those are the worst.
But that cat Roman Roy is still, bro. Hey, it was a great show. Lucky Lefty podcast. Winning ways at Notre Dame. Winning ways at Notre Dame. How is Notre Dame going to win this year, Lef? Let's start with the offense. They bring in Sam Hartman. Someone told me to ask you, who's the 1,000-yard receiver? Because that's what Sam Hartman does. He produces 1,000-yard receivers. He's done it for 6 guys. Notre Dame, I agree with that assessment of Shiv. I agree with that, my brother. how is Notre Dame going to win? Right? It's interesting that Sam Hartman comes in, but who has to change? Notre Dame, or does Sam Hartman have to change? That's interesting to me because I know what Sam Hartman is used to. He's used to going into games saying, "I have to win. I have to go out and win this game." He's done it at a pretty good, decent pace at Wake Forest. Everything was on his shoulders offensively. Does Sam Hartman have to change more, or will Notre Dame have to adjust to Sam Hartman more in order for them to win in 2023?
I think, if anything, Sam needs to play well in moments, and playing well in moments is making the big plays. I think we brought in an assassin in the sense that we're not really asking you to run the whole operation. I'm sticking by it because I said it earlier. I'm saying it still. You're a contracted 3-game quarterback. If this was an NFL team, we would be like the Cleveland Browns. We have a good base, good team, got Odell, got all the fancy fixings, but we stuck with a Baker Mayfield. And he just can't get over the hump. We'd be good, and we're preseason, about to win it all. Oh, we got the QB and all that. But when it came down to it, them games that mattered, the quarterback didn't come through. So what did the Browns do? Went out and paid a buku amount for a quarterback that can get over the hump. We went out in recruiting to get a quarterback that can get us over the hump because it's everything else is set. We got the potential at receiver. We got the obvious tight end and the offensive line and the running backs. But there's a missing piece, and it's at that quarterback position. And it's important that Sam comes in knowing where his value in that position. It's not like he's going to like a Louisville where it's like, okay, we got a bunch of pieces. Let's see if you can put it together and see what can come out of it. It's like, no, we have this VCR. We just looking for the right movie to put in. We don't need Sam to be the VCR because we already got that. We just need the right movie to set the scene right. Is Sam the right tape to get the crowd to stay at the movie? Because we've been playing tapes and it's gotten us pretty far, but it ain't got us that blockbuster. We got the blockbuster movie. And the thing about blockbuster movies, they don't have a bunch of blockbuster movies all year round. It's like one in the winter, one in the summer, like a Transformers or something. Make $1 billion. There's only a couple movies a year like that. And that's what we got Sam for. Just a couple times a year, when we on the biggest stage, he needs to be the best, if not the best player on the field at those moments. That's what we got Sam. Yeah, he's going to rack up a bunch of yards throughout the season on games that we can win with me and you playing quarterback. Because if you're looking at the paper, okay, they don't have these guys. They got this. Okay, we should be 8 games with our eyes closed if we're doing what we're supposed to do. And we have that in the locker room. But them 3 games? 3? When the lights are brightest, that's when we've hired a specific person for that. So I do think we'll have a great season overall. Sam's going to give us a lot more highlights than we've had before in the passing game because that's his strength. But my evaluation is coming from those biggest moments because what else can we get? It's the number one quarterback in the transfer portal. He has everything that we've been lacking at the pass game position. He's got the accolades, he's got the yards, he's turned receivers in the thousand. Okay, we got all that. We've literally got the best filler for what the offense is needing. We didn't just get a regular quarterback that just like a Jack Cohn, who was just a backup that, who knows what we can do with it. We got a guy that is the best of the available options. So that expectation is, okay, if we can't get it done with the best available fit for what we need, then it has to be a bigger issue. But I believe that Sam is the best fit for what we need to get over the hump this year. So those 3 games, he needs to show why he's the right person. Because all the other games, it's like, oh, okay, we're going to say he's the savior after what? Tennessee State? We're going to say he's the savior after playing in Ireland? These are games we're supposed to win. Tyler Buckner can win those games. But when we go to when Ohio State comes here, it's got to be the Sam Hartman show. It's got to be. Because we got the same running game as last year. Same receivers. Same offensive line. But the quarterback got to be the difference because the quarterback was the difference when we played him last year. The quarterback was the difference when we played Ohio State last year. That was it. It just so happened they had the second pick of the draft at that position. Sam's got to be our second pick of the draft at the position. Because when you playing games of that caliber, that's the difference maker. Whose quarterback is better? Think about Alabama. Alabama still has a running game. Still a premier part of their offense. But who was the best players in the country? Will Anderson and Bryce Young. Even with the greatness of Alabama's running game, we talked about Bryce Young.
Alabama's running game was subpar his first
Under
year.
Bill O'Brien, yeah, but I'm saying from a talent standpoint,
Jahmyr Gibbs was pretty good. He was
top
pretty
tier.
good last year.
But we talking about Bryce Young on that offense. We talking about Bryce Young winning that game versus Texas. We talking about Bryce Young winning that game versus Texas A&M and Auburn and Georgia. That's Bryce Young. But they've always had a good running game. That's what Notre Dame needs to be. We need to be talking about our quarterback in situations, not our Audric estimate. Yeah, but that's not enough. Michael Mayer is not enough. Not enough. If we talking about our quarterback in these big games, that would be the determining factor. Because it is in every championship team. Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young, even Stetson Bennett. 6 touchdowns in the championship. That's a big factor.
Just like to mention that Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence have not won NFL championships. But if you're speaking of college championships, I understand what you're saying.
Trevor Lawrence is young, man. He's going to be a 15-year quarterback in the league, ring of honor for Jacksonville. So he's only in his 3rd year approaching greatness.
See, my pushback left is Notre Dame is Notre Dame. And until proven differently, I have nothing else to lean on. It's nice that you have Sam Hartman. But Notre Dame is Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman is Marcus Freeman. He is who he is. So you can sit up here, you can talk about Jared Parker, you can talk about all of these great gifts of wide receivers and Sam Hartman having 1,000-yard receivers in the form of 6 guys. And can he produce one at Notre Dame and who that might be? And my pushback is Marcus Freeman. What's the team's identity?
I kind of told him this today in the team meeting is that I have a vision and identity I want for our team, and that's to be a team that can run the ball and stop the run, right? I believe in our O-line and our D-line being the foundation of our team. And so I'm excited to see if that can become our identity. That's my vision. I also want to see a team that's aggressive. That's one of our mantras, challenge everything. What does that mean? It means be aggressive. Do not play timid. Do not play scared. Think outside the box offensively and defensively, schematically. Be okay with taking chances.
So I hear you. I see everybody in the chat. I see
we are-
all the well wishers.
Yes, I'm like,
I see all the well wishers for like, oh, Sam Hartman's going to throw for 30 touchdowns and do this and do that. Sam Hartman has to fit into the vision of Marcus Freeman.
See, but
it's not
that's
Sam Hart. Hold on, wait a minute. Jared Parker, like, man, he's going to do things differently than Tommy, this, that, and the other. Wait a minute. Didn't Notre Dame just pick up another running back in the transfer portal this weekend from Penn State?
Wait a minute, though.
Didn't they just pick up? Hold on, wait a minute. Didn't they just pick up? Don't they have great running backs coming in? Don't they have another running back returning from injury?
So
wait a minute. So get who's more proven, the Notre Dame running backs or the Notre Dame wide receivers? You tell me.
Notre Dame running backs.
Okay then.
But
okay then. Once again, that's my only pushback. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong, because it could happen. I'm just saying I'm not going to believe it until I see it. Notre Dame opening up the offense and Sam Hartman just throwing the ball off. I'm not believing it until I see it.
That's what we have to be, because, like you said in the beginning, some would say Marcus Freeman, that's an old school identity. Even Nick Saban, what did he say? He went up there and said, listen, y'all spreading the ball out now? Oh, okay, that's what we're doing. That's what Marcus Freeman needs to be talking about. This run, but running, we're not Wisconsin. This is not Wisconsin of 2010 when Monty Ball and Melvin Gordon and James White, all those guys, and we got the offensive line, and that's not winning the game no more. If Nick Saban said y'all spreading it out, Marcus Freeman needs to be saying we need to be spreading it out. That's what's winning right now.
We talked about that back in 2012. Nick Saban saw what everybody else was doing. But the thing is, everybody reacted that way because that was the only way they could attack Alabama.
That's right.
You couldn't line up and just run at Alabama. You had to spread them out, use the passing game as the run game horizontally, and then attack them via the seams vertically. That's how you beat Alabama. Teams got better. And when Nick Saban saw that, he said, oh, this is what y'all want to do? Because I promise you I can do it better than everybody else.
I agree that we need to be aggressive, which I think has been one of the things that has been implemented, is we've been more aggressive on both sides of football. But go back to what Marcus Freeman said in the media, which I think he, over time, is getting to understand. Listen, it may not be what I want at first, but with what we have and what we putting together, we can make it good for the guys that we have on the roster. And I think Jared Parker understands that well enough to at least try it. We go out there and line up in 4 wide, first game against Navy. The worst that can happen is we lead that game with 35 plus points.
That means nothing to me. That means absolutely nothing to me, right? Let me tell you. That's like Michael Jordan putting up 45 points on Craig Elo. That don't mean nothing to me. Now, you put up 40 points on Joe Dumars, now that's a totally different story. You put up 63 in the guard, no Dennis Johnson, who's one of the greatest defenders of all time. Now you're talking about something. That's an epic performance. Coming out 4 wide against Navy, come out 4 wide against Ohio State with that pass rush. Do that. Let your testes hang. Do that. That's the game where you prove to me how aggressive you're really going to be offensively.
Yeah, because we always do that. We go run, hope they mess up.
Absolutely. Keep it close. Stay in the game. No. Ohio State walks in September 23rd. Let it all hang out. You got your quarterback.
Play calls. Yeah.
Come out, go 3-4 wide. Attack them. You got 2 tackles that can hold up on the edges. Attack them. And then bang them late with the run game.
That's right.
That's how you prove it to Shaun Davis. Until then, we're going to line up.
Stuff. Yeah,
until then, stuff. We're going to line up against Ohio State. We're going to run it. Play action.
Run, play action.
Until I'm proven different. Until I see different.
Because we got set up so there's no excuse. We need to be pass, run, pass. That's what it need to be. That's what it is. 16 attempts in the spring game.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds pretty good to me.
Now, one could say, look, Shaun, maybe Logan Diggs was watching things in spring football and said to himself, I'm already sharing snaps and carries, and they're about to take carries away from us with this passing game. Nah, I can't eat here anymore. See, a lot of people got on Logan Diggs. When I looked at it from that standpoint, I said, you know what, Logan? If they are indeed about to pass the ball a lot more, and that's less carries, and now you're sharing even less carries with Audrey Estime, man, from a business standpoint, I don't have a problem with you bouncing. That has nothing to do with competition at all. Like, you taking food off my plate. You're taking my opportunities. It is what it is. So, I don't have a problem with that, bro.
Facts.
I don't have a problem with that. Man, y'all got a lot of... I don't understand the vitriol for Logan Diggs, bro. I just don't. I think, I tell you, boy, this goes back to people thinking like Notre Dame is the only place that players are supposed to play football. Like, how dare someone go to Notre Dame and figure out that there's a better fit or a better place for them? If indeed what you just said, Left, if they're going to increase the passing and he's going to be featured even less than he was last year, and this is his 3rd year, this is his year to make a difference to the NFL scouts, why would he stay? It's common sense. Ain't got nothing to do with Notre Dame. Yes, he should think about himself. Who else is he going to think about? Yes, think about yourself. Absolutely. It's your last year to impress NFL scouts. You darn right think about yourself. Colleges do it every year. That's why that's why your scholarship is 1 year renewable. So every year, what do you think colleges do? They think about themselves. What did Notre Dame do with Owen Wafel? They thought about themselves.
Got to.
Everybody, this is the business of college football where everybody involved thinks about themselves. Everybody. So this whole, the only thing that I've seen being this close to Notre Dame that is tangible is the brotherhood of the players. That's the only thing that I've seen that's tangible that has nothing to do with the business of college football. Absolutely nothing. Everything else is business. People can shape it. They can come talk to you in a press conference and tell you about all the narratives. College football is business. From the head coach to the assistant coaches all the way down. It's business. That's it. But there's a problem when the players look at it as business. It's a problem. It's a problem. So it is what it is. When coaches decide to leave, are they thinking about the team? Was Tommy Reese thinking about the team when he voted right before the spring? Was he thinking about the people he recruited? Was he thinking about the Chicago kids that he was recruiting that were on the hook in the 24 class? It's crazy. It's a business, man. And we as fans get caught in the trick bag because we're fans. And part of being fans is emotions, right? And being connected to players and wanting players to stay and finish the job. And unfortunately, players, coaches, and everyone involved have to think about a lot more than our emotions and our feelings. They have to think about the bag. They have to think about family issues. They have to think about things. You know, Stevie Wonder, come on, dude. The Bears took the Texas running back in the 4th round. That's not high. That's not high. I'm sorry. That's not high. Logan Diggs is going 3rd, 4th round already. So
maybe even worse the way they've been drafting running backs.
So it's like, what are we talking about? That's not high. That's what the NFL values running backs. You know what high is for a running back? 1st, 2nd round. If you see a running back taken in the 1st and 2nd round, that's high. That's high for a running back. Seeing Bijan taken top 10, that's ridiculous. Because the NFL doesn't value running backs. Heck, college football is starting not to value running backs.
Not the way they putting these sets and stuff together.
Give me the top 5 running backs, Left. I guarantee you people can tell me the top 5 returning wide receivers. Tell me the top 5 returning running backs. You're going to be hard pressed. Because they're not featured as much. Who was the last just great running back? Was it Reg? Was Reg like that last? Saquon. Maybe it was Saquon. The last great college football running back where you tuned in to watch this dude play. Who was that? Think about it, Left. Who was it?
Yeah, after Saquon, I don't know.
It had to be Saquon.
It was Zeke, Saquon.
Right.
And then
like Saquon was after Zeke. So it had to be Saquon.
No, because you got Dalvin Cook was cool to watch. I like watching Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, but see, I see people mentioning like the Georgia running backs. They weren't stars. They were
Todd Gurley was.
But he was before Chubb and those guys, right?
Before Chubb and them, yeah.
And then before he got hurt, Gurley would have been.
He was the last like Walter Payton type of size back.
Yeah, I'm not talking about look.
Henry. Yeah, it was like an era during the 2010s. Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb.
Yes.
Saquon, that era. Bo Scarborough, hell, all the Alabama running backs during that time. Tim Penny, Onora at Tennessee.
Yeah.
That was 2010s, but hell, after Saquon, that was it. Zeke.
It started with what? Adrian Peterson was what? 2008. 8. Like that running back era, it was litty. I'm talking about for like 8 years.
I wasn't tuned in to watch Jonathan Taylor.
No, that's what I'm saying. Dude, I literally stayed up as a Notre Dame fan to watch USC and Fresno State. Like I had to watch Reg. I tuned in to watch Reggie Bush. That's it.
After
that's it.
And then the Saquon thing was dead after the Ohio State game. So
when he took the opening kickoff back, and then
they got mollywopped.
Then they got mollywopped. Right.
So after that game, That was the last time I probably was excited to try to watch a running back.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everybody became community running back after that. Hell, Penn State became community running back after Saquon.
Facts.
So it wasn't nobody that was really like Jahmyr Gibbs came on late, but that most of these running backs that are really good to play for really good teams now. So it's like they share the ball.
But they're playing for really good teams with really good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm feeling what everyone is saying as far as maybe Notre Dame will have to adjust more to Sam Hartman if they are evolving with the rest of college football. But as a Notre Dame fan, that I'm just saying, dude, I have to see it. If I see them come out 3-4 wide to attack Ohio State, I'm a believer. Until then, my expectation is keep the game close, play good defense, run the ball, take some shots.
If we came out aggressive against Ohio State, we'll be fine.
If they came out aggressive last year, they would have been fine.
We never come out aggressive against teams that we are 50-50 against. We never do it. I don't know if that's just I don't know. Because at the end of the day, the teams that are most aggressive win anyway in those top matchups. Trevor Lawrence was aggressive against us when he played us in the playoffs after we beat him. We'll beat them because we didn't play him. We beat them during the regular season. They came out aggressive in the playoffs and whooped us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell, the national championship game, the more aggressive team between Bama and Georgia was Georgia. And Alabama was aggressive too, but then they lost their receivers. So that changed the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was probably the peak. Hell, LSU beat Clemson in the national championship because they was aggressive on offense. They had like 50 points.
I mean, but Clemson came out aggressive. Clemson, but people forget, Clemson was up like
aggressive. It was up.
Clemson was up 10.
So it's just like, man, the aggressive team is the one that wins, not the one that has the better defense and just tries to run the ball the whole time. The last time that worked was 2012 with Alabama versus Notre Dame. After that year, teams wasn't running the ball to win no more. Think about the championships after 2012. It was Jameis Winston and that crew, Marcus Mariota and that crew.
Yeah.
Ohio State had their year, but it was just a year because they had Zeke. And then hell, the year after they won, when Zeke's draft year, they were struggling because they couldn't throw it. But then that was the LSU's, the Clemson, Deshaun Watson came in the pick. So 2012 was the last time that running game got anybody anywhere, where the staunch defense won the running game. Georgia tried to bring it back, but they put a historic defense together.
So basically, you just laid out the fact that the vision that he might have had when he got the job might need to be, because we pointed out
he just 10 years too late.
Yeah.
10 years too late.
Yeah.
If Marcus Freeman came in 2012, 2010, shoot, when I was at school, he was the head coach, we would have won. 2015, with Marcus Freeman as head coach, we would have won. We would have beat Ohio State. We would have beat them Clemson teams. But hell, after the undefeated 2018 season, we should have been looking for them snipers at quarterback. For sure.
The game has indeed changed. The game has indeed changed.
In the championship game in 2016.
Yeah.
When he came back to beat Bama, is because he threw for 500 yards. The game before, he only threw for 300. And they lost.
Dude, first of all,
the game after, he threw for 500 and they won.
Bro.
Shit. Trevor Lawrence.
The two performances he had back-to-back years against Alabama.
It's just incredible.
Nick Saban had to go into the offseason like, dude, just having nightmares. Like,
that's when we realized Nick Saban's DBs are trash in a championship game.
But that's when you can't overreact, bro. See, this is when you face a great quarterback as a team, and that great quarterback just beats you, you can't overreact. Because there's only one or two of those, bro.
But that's what the game has come to. They have recruited defenses to where if you want to win a championship, you literally have to have Michael Jordan versus Space Jam monsters.
Uh-huh.
That's what Deshaun was against them back there. That's why we wanted to watch it. It was Michael Jordan versus Space Jam monsters.
Uh-huh.
Trevor Lawrence versus Space Jam monsters. And that's what it takes to win the championship. Every time. Because what it takes to beat Georgia the last 2 years is Michael Jordan at quarterback. Because other than that, you ain't putting up 10 points. They have out-recruited regular offense. You're not beating Georgia with a regular offense anymore.
No.
You're not beating Alabama with a regular offense anymore.
No, and your quarterback better be able to scramble.
The quarterback better be a first pick of the draft. That's how crazy recruiting has made college football. You're not winning the national championship without Michael Jordan at quarterback. That's just what it is.
That's bananas, bro. That's bananas. This is just in 10 years.
This is we talking about the level of Michael Jordan. Dabo said Deshaun Watson is the closest thing to Jordan. That's why he got the look, and he had what's his name?
As far as receivers,
he had Taj Boyd. Taj
yeah.
Boyd was good.
Taj Boyd is an OG. He's an OG.
But he wasn't Michael Jordan good. Hell, Kelly Bryant was good. We would love Kelly Bryant at Notre Dame right now. Kelly Bryant went 15-2 at Clemson and got benched for the white Michael Jordan.
He got benched for a pretty good dude.
White Michael Jordan. And the white Michael Jordan, you know what he did? Went 33-1. It takes Michael Jordan, LeBron James level at quarterback to win a championship. Period. In the story. That's why
I applaud you. I applaud you for saying Michael Jordan's name first. Boy, that was big of you, Left. That's mighty big. LL Nation, give Left a round of applause. That was pretty big of him.
Guess what Caleb Williams is?
He's Michael Jordan. He's Michael Jordan, bro.
So you're gonna first of all watch whatever game he's playing. I don't care if it's Oregon. I don't care if it's Virginia. You're gonna watch his games. You might not even be USC because it's Michael Jordan.
Yes.
You want to see that versus Alabama. I'm not confident in Sam Hartman versus Georgia's defense of last year or Alabama's defense of last year. I heard Alabama defense about to be better than Georgia's defense this year.
Uh-huh.
I'm not confident with Sam Hartman going into that because he's not Michael Jordan standalone. So, I just hope Alabama gets beat on the way to the championship, and then we get them while they a little down. If we catch a full strength Alabama with Sam Hartman, I'm not thinking we're going to win that game. He's not Michael Jordan. Because that's what I know is going to take to win the championship.
But this is the thing. This is the year that the top three programs have questionable quarterback play. See, this is the year. If it's a year for Notre Dame to jump up and take advantage of, it's this year. Georgia doesn't have a quarterback.
Nope.
Alabama definitely doesn't have a quarterback.
We seen what they got. We have.
Clemson has a quarterback
that's just not as good.
He's not Trevor though.
Just not
he's
Trevor.
Not Deshaun.
It's like, damn, how you gonna follow up Dave Chappelle? It's like you funny. How you gonna follow up after Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
It's like, damn, it's like you good, but that was them.
Yeah.
So Clemson is always gonna be in that funk. They have to get at least 10, 12 years removed from Deshaun and Trevor before they start, unless they find, because you're just not going to find that.
Yeah.
Or you got to recruit that. And, guys wanting to go any and everywhere these days.
You know something else we're finding out? Mac Jones isn't on the same level as Bryce, Trevor, and Deshaun either. He just had
a Heisman receiver.
Man. The running back he had, the wide receivers he had.
Heisman, he had Najee Harris. Come on. Najee, Devon. One
Yeah.
played in the Super Bowl. One's a starting running back for the Steelers,
Yeah.
premier guy. Like, come
Yeah.
on, Mac Jones is like Mac Jones is what Sam Hartman is to us, but we just don't have Heisman receiver yet. We got the running backs. I say we got some running comparable. I mean, he's not as dynamic as Najee, but he can be productive like Najee. He can, I just remember watching Alabama games with Najee and Mac Jones, Devontae. They'll run the ball right, just run the ball right. And Najee just will be looking so much better than whoever he's running against. And that's like, oh, that's an easy five before he's even getting touched. And then you got to tackle and he's jumping over, dude. Aldrich's not doing that. However, Aldrich is getting 4 yards up the middle, though. But Sam Hartman needs to look at Mac Jones tape and study the shit out of him.
Uh-huh.
Because, come on, I mean, Mac Jones standalone is a reason why he was a third string compared to Jalen and Tua and all them guys.
Yeah.
Standalone. But once all the debt clears, he gets the experience. He's got his couple good things. Then you put a superstar team around him, of course.
Yeah.
That's how we can win with Sam Hartman. But do we have a Devontae Smith?
No. We don't have a Ruggs. We don't have a no.
If we ain't got that,
no.
I don't know. But
no.
Now with this receiver class coming in, with a CJ Carr, with a Kenny Minchie in the picture, okay, we can let him cook. Let him cook. But as we stand today, we don't have a Michael Jordan at quarterback. We got a pretty decent guy. I would say he's like.
Oh, this is about
he's like a Devin Booker. He'll give you some stats and some points. But is he gonna win you a championship?
I think you dissing Devin Booker right there, dude.
Really? Devin Booker's nice. I like Devin Booker.
That's just my opinion.
Really?
But I mean, if that's the comp you want to go with, I rock with it, dude.
Devin Booker's a baller. But is he a championship baller? Or is he like a Dame Lillard, who's a baller, but he ain't gonna win no championship in Portland?
I could give you Dame. I could give you Dame. I could give you Dame.
Sam's not Dame though. Wait a minute. Spencer Rattler is more like Damian Lillard because it's just like damn, you just the way you
bro. Your love for Spencer Rattler, bro, is just
it's
you
real,
need to be his agent.
Right.
You need to be his agent,
man,
bro.
listen, if he didn't have the attitude he had, we would be talking about him and Caleb in the same sentence for sure. Caleb's more athletic, but from a throwing standpoint, they in the same world, universe, neighborhood, next door neighbors. Him, Drake May, and Caleb Williams throw the best balls in college football right now.
So you said Notre Dame needs to be more aggressive. How does that impact? See, I just said if they're being more aggressive,
we're 70-30.
How does that impact Audrey Estimate?
Audrey Estimate is
how does that impact
on second down? It'd be 2nd and 4 against a 5-man box. Audrey Estimate up the middle, 10 yards. That's the. But he only getting like 10, 15 carries maybe. But they 8 yards a carry, 8 yards because we just killing them on little screens and little stupid stuff and little hooks and then they be like, man, we gotta spread it out a little bit. We can't go 3rd down, 8-man, 9-man, 10, 11-man, 12-man boxes.
Yeah.
With one-on-one on the outside playing 30 yards off because we're not going to throw it either way. I'm just going to be like, man, he going to be looking around the hole. He ain't going to be having to shake 6 or 7 guys at the line of scrimmage before he gets the ball.
We'll see. David Lowe says if Georgia can win back-to-back with Stetson,
no.
Notre Dame can win one with Hartman.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing the simple logic today. No. That's the apples and oranges. Georgia put together something that has never, ever been done in the last 150 years of college football.
Hey man,
where your front 7 is all first round, not even first round, top 10. Your whole front seven.
Something has to be illegal. There has to be something illegal going on.
First
Has to
round
be.
in, first round nose guard, first round 3-tech, first round other side in. I'm sorry, not first round. First pick of the draft for the end on the opposite side of Nolan Smith, who was a first round pick. First round pick at 3-tech, first round or top 3 pick at nose guard. This is deeper than Clemson's when they had the 4 All-Americans. We're talking about 2 first picks of the draft, 4 first rounders. The only person that didn't get drafted in the first round in their front 7,
dude, their
was
offensive
their
linemen.
linebacker.
Their offensive linemen are going first round. People forget that. Their offensive linemen are getting drafted in the first round. People don't even mention that, but man.
I forgot. Yeah, their offensive line going first. But literally, come on, let's not even talk about those. Now we know Marcus Freeman's recruiting great on the defensive end, but listen, what Georgia did them 2 years from a recruiting standpoint,
what they're doing this weekend.
That's a fantasy. That's a fantasy.
Just
to get on the field
this weekend's recruiting weekend.
Just to get on the field. We talking about you do all the stuff is game 1. Your game 1 roster is in 2 years ago was a first pick of the draft. Playing next to him at 3-tech was the 5th pick of the draft. This is the NFL draft. These first pick, 5th pick, 10th pick with Jalen Carter, who should have been a top 5 pick if he was in shape.
Yeah.
And then you got Nolan Smith, who's a first. That's what. And then we ain't even talking about the linebackers because all they linebackers was getting drafted first, second. The only people that didn't get drafted like that was their secondary. They got drafted though. They just didn't get drafted first round. So it's like, what are we talking about? We had Brandon Joseph who didn't get drafted. Ben Morrissey might be our only first round guy. Might be.
No, Joe Alt.
I'm talking about defense.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're not.
I mean, in the future, I think Jalen Sneed.
Okay, but that's still 2 compared to their whole starting front 7. Like, what are we talking about? And you even said future on that. It's like not even right now.
Bro,
right now they had
Malachi Starks is a future first round pick in the NFL draft. He started as a true freshman on the national championship team.
That's recruiting on a level that's like, come on, man.
It's on another level, man. So when you try to use the Stetson Bennett
start on the national championship. What type of recruiting is that?
Yeah, I agree with you, Left. When you go
talk about the 2,
you go to that Stetson Bennett was surrounded by an all-time,
all great. Because think about, like, just say 15 years from now, all those dudes are in the Ring of Honor.
Put it like this: Stetson Bennett was throwing to wide open players all the time.
For real, and it was even worse when they was running it more with Jake Fromm. You talking about wide open? Jake Fromm. I was in a game with him. Threw the ball 11 times.
We watched Alabama double and triple team their tight end, bro. And he still made plays.
Had 2 touchdowns and some crazy plays, crazy catches.
This is definitely the amount of talent or the level of talent. Stetson Bennett. Yeah.
Now he did what he was supposed to do, but we talking about doing kindergartner work as a 16-year-old compared to taking an AP class as a 16-year-old. He over doing kindergarten, coloring in the lines. At Georgia, he coloring in the lines. Throw it to 6'10", Darnell Washington, who's 280. And then if you don't like him, we got Brock Bowers, who's the next best tight end in the country. Throw it to him. Oh, you got AJ Mitchell, who scored a touchdown in every playoff game he's ever been in.
And oh, by the way, they just signed the number 1 tight end in the nation that's in the 24 class.
And we got 3 running backs that you can just swap jerseys and they all good. Just swap the numbers on it. They all the same. All huge. What are we talking about?
Look, man, Hey,
That's
it's a
why we
lot
have
of
to have Michael Jordan at quarterback. That's all I'm saying. That's
hey,
why we need Michael Jordan at quarterback because they have recruited defenses so tough. They ain't running a bunch of schemes. That's what
no,
make it crazy. It's not
no.
like they just showing this and then rolling into this and doing this. It's like we're playing cover 4.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna match you up on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even blitz that much. We may blitz 5. Our front 4 is better than anything you can do to protect yourself with 6, 7, 8. Try to move the pocket. You can't do nothing with a 310 nose guard, a 6'5", 250 in, who's faster than your fastest receiver. It's like if you can't win the front against the front 4, what are you? You don't have a chance.
Look, once again, the winning ways for Notre Dame was going to be very interesting to watch this year and how it plays out. We believe that because of the way college football has gone, we truly believe that, yes, you have to be able to throw the ball and be aggressive. We played Marcus Freeman and what his vision is for this championship team in Notre Dame. The rubber has to meet the road at some point. September 23rd is that date that I have bookmarked. We shall see, ladies and gentlemen. What will a winning Notre Dame team look like in 2023? I can't wait. Lucky Lefty podcast. When we come back, the need for a rewind button and the Notre Dame defense. Could they actually blitz more than they did last year under Al Golden? We'll talk about it. All right, Left. Let me tell you something. 2 things happened this weekend in anticipation of EA Sports release of NCAA football. I finally purchased my PS5, Left.
That's right.
I had to get my thumbs right. I had to start working the thumbs out a little bit early. I had to give myself about a year. Ryan Roberts is talking a lot of trash. B. Driss is talking a lot of trash. There's some hearts I'm going to have to break this time next summer. I'm going to have to do some things. I need to know who's the most dynamic player you played with in NCAA. The most dynamic player you played with in NCAA.
Myself easily.
Yourself?
Easily.
Dude, I have to admit.
I was ranked at 80 overall freshman year, so I was sucking myself in because we had Ev. Man, we was cooking. You could play with Notre Dame if I was on the game because we was nice. They gave me a good deep ball. We had the running game right. Obviously the offensive line was top tier. I think Zach was still in the game. I had Zach blocking for me. It was up.
Yo, I agree. Lilo Galante, we appreciate you. CFB was a video game. Georgia would be the end of the game. Look, I'm telling you now, I'm not respecting you at all if you play with Georgia.
Yeah, you can't even. Yeah, it's kind of stupid now.
It's like, dude,
you
if
can't
you play with Georgia
right now. No.
Off the bat, I know you have no game.
That's
I
like,
already know you
that's
have
like
no
2010
game.
Warriors. It's like you playing with the Splash Brothers, really, when they just making everything. It's like
we already question your game, but it's very important to realize. I think the coldest dude. I'll be honest, bro. That cat Juice Williams, when I played with him when he was at Illinois, that cat Juice Williams, I had him doing some amazing things on that game, bro.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was running that option with him and Rashard Mendenhall.
Rashard Mendenhall? What happened to him at the Steelers, man? He was good. Did he get hurt or something? Because remember him and Willie Parker, man. It was Rashard Mendenhall.
Oh, good call. Good call. Willie Parker.
See, that's the duo we need at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
If Logan Diggs is more like Willie Parker, because Aldrich is kind of more Rashard Mendenhall, like, okay, I can take that. But if Logan Diggs was a Willie Parker, had that fast speed, scat speed type of thing, that James White type of play,
yeah,
we would have been good as a Thunder combo Thunder Lightning combo. That's how Wisconsin did it. They had Monty Ball, then Melvin Gordon, and James White. They had a nice little mix of them three. I mean, man, that's beautiful. And guess who was there? Joe Rudolph was there the whole time, so he knows what the running game should look like from a running standpoint. Because Joe Rudolph was tight ends coach back there.
Yeah. And Pat, I see you in the chat. Look, I don't know how you are as a sports fan. The sports fans are different. Malik and I actually have to be like, we are actually sports fans that like greatness. We like to watch greatness. I like to watch Steph Curry. I like to watch LeBron James. The Chicago Bulls suck right now. So if the Bulls are on and Steph Curry is playing, I'm turning to Steph Curry.
For sure.
So don't get mad at us that Notre Dame just happened to be 9-4 and 10-win team with Jack Cohn. And Georgia just happened to be the bastion of greatness, and Bryce Young just happened to be in Alabama. We love watching greatness.
Yeah, I would definitely.
That's all that is.
Georgia versus Kentucky versus
absolutely
us versus Toledo.
Absolutely.
And you know the way we play, I can watch the whole first half of Georgia and not miss nothing. Flip back, wait to the fourth quarter about Notre Dame game, and have all the notes I need after a couple drives. Like
absolutely. And if you don't like watching good football, then that's on you. I don't know what else to say, but I love watching greatness. I'm not just stuck to watching Notre Dame and watching my squad. Anytime I can watch greatness on the gridiron, man, I don't care if it's USC late at night. Yep, I watch Caleb as much as I can.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching Caleb as much as I can.
Like, watch Caleb as much as I can.
That UCLA game, USC game, I stayed up for that.
That game was one of the best college football games of the past 5 years.
Easily.
Period.
From an entertainment value, easily. Well, I wouldn't watch. Like, come on, who we played that week? We played. What was it? It was the end of the season. We played damn near. Oh, it was a week before we played them.
Yes,
it was. What was it? It was a Pitt or something. It was some game I didn't watch until the end.
I think we watched. No, we watched Boston. We played Boston College.
Oh yeah, that game was a snow game. So
snow game,
whatever.
Yeah,
that wasn't even that great to watch. And they had Zay Flowers on the other team. So a lot of it's because their quarterback was a freshman. I'm like, man, we ain't watching that.
So man, maybe we can do a podcast over at Dog Nation. Yeah, we can probably do a podcast over at Alabama site too. Wherever there's greatness, we can talk about it.
That's right.
Because we love watching it. It is what it is. Lucky Lefty podcast. Before we get to the defense left, I have a great idea. I know you love to invest. I know you love up-and-coming trends. Here's one for you. The DAR. There's a need for the DAR. You say, well, what are you talking about, Shaun? Well, I just happened to be in a drive-thru this morning going to pick up a nice iced macchiato for the missus. And I had to turn the radio down to place my order. But the conversation that was on sports radio, I was very much interested in. So in order to place my order, I had to stop listening to the conversation, and I missed some pretty pertinent information or pertinent parts of the conversation. Why can't you rewind on radio? Why? Why can't I hit the pause button on what I'm listening to on live radio just like TV? Why do I have to wait for the podcast to come out? I'm just saying. I need a rewind button for my sports radio left. That's all I'm saying. I need a pause and a rewind button for my sports radio. Because I'm missing important pieces of the conversation when I'm placing my order.
That wouldn't make it live, then you'll be like, might as well get on YouTube like the Breakfast Club and catch
it. It's just like when I'm watching TV. If I go do something, I pause it. When I come back, And I just happened to be behind the live feed, but I didn't miss anything.
But that's because you have a cable box. The radio is a
Come on,
a
bro.
signal. It's a
Everything is
signal.
a signal that can be streamed, a signal that I'm sure can be manipulated at some point.
How you gonna take a signal and individualize to radios that are on FM and AM?
Well, look, you can't. I guess you can do it in a sense, right? Because if you listen through the app, you can hit the pause button. If you listen through
that's
the
what I'm
app,
saying. It has to be something.
but it's tricky listening through the app because you don't know. You rewind. I'm just saying. Figure the technology out. We figure everything else out. Figure it
probably
out.
got it for real. They just gonna give it to us. We 30 years behind the government and stuff.
Hey, dude, figure it out.
The thing is,
I
like
understand
they say,
that we know that terrestrial radio is not the same as satellite.
but they say
we understand
they
that.
say what the book say if we think it's probably already theirs. Ain't nothing
Absolutely. 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 How aggressive is Notre Dame's defense going to be, Left?
I think the great defenses of what we learned in the past years is that the great defenses don't blitz that much. They just rely so much on the front seven and that front four that they create enough pressure to play 7-8 men in the backfield and make it tough all day. That's why Georgia was so good. It's because they don't have to blitz. How hard is it when you can't run versus a four down and you can't pass versus a 4 down?
You know what? They confused the heck out of Josh Heupel and Hendon Hooker because you just said what you said. They went into that matchup of undefeateds and they blitzed Hendon Hooker from every direction. And that was so off-brand from what Georgia does that Tennessee just was – it took them 3 quarters to adjust.
No, absolutely, because they're not – nobody's used to it. Think about it. You already the baddest team on defense, not blitzing. And you show it no matter who you go against. Then you go against a team and you start blitzing. There's no way they don't have enough reps in the bank throughout the week to prepare for a switch up like that because that's not even their identity.
Right.
I don't think Georgia preaches having pressure. The only thing about it is you have to have great back end play, which I think Notre Dame is going to be better at this year, having great secondary back end play. But at the same time,
but even if you don't have great back end play left,
you got to hit home.
It takes a phenomenal quarterback to take advantage of it.
Well, the way offenses is scripted and schemed these days, not really, because you have so many dump offs and little RPO stuff, and the game's a little more AAU-ish.
Well, my point is, I don't think Georgia's defensive backfield was very young this year.
No,
I'm telling you, most of their youth, they started like 2 true freshmen. They had Ringo, who was overrated. He was overrated, in my opinion.
He's technically not overrated if he got drafted around the right spot. He was like 5th, 6th round or something crazy like that.
No. Ringo didn't go to 5th, 6th round.
He went low for
Ringo
where
went higher than that.
He definitely went 5th round or 6th round.
No.
Where'd he go? 5th round for
Kelly
sure.
Ringo, no, pick 105, bro. That was like 3rd.
Oh man, it felt like it was maybe because all his teammates picked first.
I'm like 5th round.
It felt like 5th round, and he was crying and shit. That's because all his homies went first pick.
But I'm just saying, he's not Benjamin Morrison.
No.
And he was their number 1. So the secondary was their Achilles heel defensively this year. To whereas they had, all types of
torching their ass.
They had all types of big time senior leadership on the back end with Scene the year before, along with that front 7. Tennessee wasn't able to take advantage of it because, look, Kirby did a great job scheming and taking things away from Tennessee that they were getting against everybody else. And Ohio State had a month to prepare. And Ohio State had great talent at wide receiver. And they had the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Like, if that's what it takes to be able to take advantage of a Georgia defense that had a secondary that could be had, this is what we're talking about, which goes back to your point. With the defensive secondary that Notre Dame does have, is the front seven going to be strong enough to allow them to be dominant? This defense is not about the players to me. I'll be honest, Left. Notre Dame's defense in 2023 is going to be about Al Golden. Period. Because you have way too many chess pieces to have a great defense, a top 20 defense in college football. There's no excuses. What type of coordinator are you? How can you game plan? And not only game plan, how can you adjust in game? For me, this is on Al Golden this year. Because you can't tell me they don't have the talent and the athleticism. This is on Al Golden. They might not have Georgia's talent. They got some pretty darn good talent on defense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, as much as we look at the strength being on the back end, Left has always said, look, I don't care what anybody says. Until Notre Dame has big boys weighing 300 pounds talking trash, they're not winning anything.
No, we're not winning nothing. If we got our set back in the last line of defense talking crazy, but your front line, you're sitting out the war, you don't hear a peep. That's like in the old movies, the arrow dudes that shoot the arrows talking the most junk.
Yeah.
It's like, you the arrow dude. You know what I mean? You ain't in the field swinging the sword and the shield. You the arrow dude talking stuff. We don't even see you till we get to the castle. So, it's not very threatening if your arrow dudes are being your loudest defenders.
The biggest concern for this defense being a winning defense as we get ready to close, Left. Talk about things that we spoke about offensively. I'll believe it when I see it. Notre Dame having a top 20 defense. Notre Dame having a top 10 pass defense. Notre Dame linebacker having 100 tackles. What is the biggest thing that you have to see before you believe it when it comes to this Notre Dame defense?
Turnovers, I think, will be a huge thing if we could just steal possessions, man. If we could be a team that if we're pressuring a lot, it should equate to stealing possessions and having bigger and better turnover downs, teams playing behind the sticks. It's not equating to that, then, we should just switch strategies.
I want to believe that the Notre Dame linebackers are going to be vastly improved. And J.D. Bertrand will have 100 tackles with about 10 tackles for loss. I have to see it before I believe it. That's just where it is. That's just where it is. I have to see the young linebackers playing as they should, in my opinion. It's going to be questionable, man. That linebacker position might be the most pivotal position for that defense in this performance. And it literally might sway the Notre Dame defense in one direction or the other. It's that important, in my opinion, Left. It's that important.
We gotta definitely step that part of our game up.
Jalen Sneed is a dude that I think jumps to the forefront, brings that attitude. He's a little bit closer to the defensive line left. At least he plays in the box. He brings that swag. He talks that trash. So you're getting a little closer than the secondary for guys talking trash.
You're getting warmer, but we still missing the mark of intimidation factor. That's why I think every team needs a couple guys that are unscripted. Football is not a gentleman's game at all. You need a couple convicts and felons mixed into the bunch. It keeps the energy going. You got a bunch of good guys going to work every day. It just becomes boring. And I think that's what the game has.
I agree, man. Shout out to everyone that stayed up with us last night. It was a great show. We enjoyed discussing the Flintstones and the Jetsons, and we got a lot of great feedback after the show last night, early this morning.
Seriously, think about it though. If you were going to anywhere, a networking event, a business event, tax conference, something at the House of Representatives, you got some resort trip for top 500 take a Notre Dame guy. But if you going to the linebacker on a Friday night at 1:00, you're not taking no Notre Dame guys with you to the bar. Or if you're going into a back alley fight, who you taking on the Notre Dame team to go with you? So I think that's where we got to be able to have some guys on the team where it's like, hey, if I had to go into treacherous waters, I'm taking X, Y, and Z with me. But we got a lot of upstanding citizens. That's a good thing. But this game is not about upstanding citizens in general. You need a couple crazies. You need a couple behavior issues. Because that's where the leadership comes, when you can bring guys up. If you got everybody that's a leader and everybody's good, it's a boring team. There's no intimidation to a bunch of good guys that you want to date your daughter. We want to come play teams where teams is like, man, I would never let them around my daughter. Because that's the type of intimidation you need going. Man, you go to Notre Dame, they all looking for, man, hey, they handing out business cards and stuff. Hit me up after the game, man, we do some bit. No. You supposed to hate going into Notre Dame tunnel playing the Notre Dame football team. They love it. They taking pictures with us, asking what it's like at the school, if we got to take religion class and stuff. Like, what are we talking about? It's a football game. It's just frustrating sometimes.
I get you. I get you. Look at Lefty Podcast, man. Like we said, winning ways. Great show. Talking about the winning ways offensively and defensively, how Notre Dame's going to go about winning that national championship and winning these big games, man. I enjoyed talking about this, Left. I'm trying to see if we had any super chats. I don't think so. For some reason, people are going at Tim Hyde. I don't know what Tim Hyde did to upset the fan base, but I guess they're saying he's always negative. All right. You know what time it is.
Petticoat. Petticoat Junction.
It's time to get petty.
Oh, we did a good job executing.
Are you upset with something?
And fire up the Petticoat Junction train.
I just don't like you.
You don't?
No.
What is today's petty history? Petty Junction.
Petty Junction, pettiest stories of the day, brought to you by Onora Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com, and Premium American Whiskey, OnoraWhiskey.com. I am putting the showrunners, the writers, the directors, the producers, and anybody else connected to that travesty that was the last episode of the season for Power.
What you mean?
That warehouse scene was trash. That
Oh,
was
okay.
the worst shootout I've ever seen in the history of TV.
Wait. I'm trying to think because I caught the episodes on Twitter 3 weeks before. You're talking about when they tried to set Tariq up and Kane tried to shoot Tariq. That one?
Yes.
You thought that was weak?
No, it was so trash. It was so trash. It didn't aesthetically make sense. Like his gun is on Tariq. They made it look like he came in and shot Kane with the first shot. But if you look at the angle, he's not even aiming in the direction of Kane, who is directly to the left of Tariq. So it was just aesthetically all bad. It was just bad, right? Then the lights go off, and all of a sudden nobody can shoot in the dark. Like nobody knows. These dudes just run out of the warehouse. Nobody chases them. Just nothing. I'm like, come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? That was the worst. Dude, and did you see Al Pacino has a baby on the way, bro?
Yeah, with a 26-year-old or something.
Man, shout out to Al Pacino, man. Bruh.
It's a lot of things to be said, probably get banned on YouTube, man.
Yo, and a lot of people said and have suggested that we do a Judy Jetson Notre Dame t-shirt, bro.
I'm telling you. Look, we gotta don't get me started talking about the merch, man. We gonna be all right. We gonna get all these ideas on paper. We gonna be good.
Oh man, great show. We'll be back tomorrow. We had to reschedule our guest today, and let's start with camp coming up. We started talking about some of these players and positions and the moves they need to make and how they need to get better, man. It is what it is, bro. I hate to use Cam and Mace's, show title, but at this point, we have what we have, and we have to go to battle with those guys. Hopefully, they can stay healthy through the fall camp and get to September 23rd healthy as well.
Oh, absolutely.
For Left, Shaun Davis. Don't forget Apple Podcast, Spotify, CFB Nation. Lock in. Audio edibles each and every day right here home in the Misguided Passion Lucky Lefty podcast. We'll see you guys tomorrow, but most of all, make sure that you spin it different.